First of all, thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be speaking to the next generation, the young minds who are going to shape the future of this world. You know, every time I stand in front of young people like you, I can feel your energy, your curiosity, your hunger to achieve something great. And let me tell you, you have every reason to dream big. Now, let me start with a simple statement. Dreams are powerful. When I say dream, I don't just mean the dreams you have at night, the ones where you're flying like Superman or maybe even eating pizza in space. I'm talking about the dreams that keep you awake, the ones that make your heart beat faster, the ones that give you a reason to get up every morning. Those dreams. But before we dive deep, I want to share a little story about my own journey and how I learned to believe in my dreams. It's not all success and roses. In fact, it's full of failures. And that's important because failures, as much as we hate them, are a part of the dream-chasing process. You know, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My family wasn't rich, I wasn't a genius, and I certainly wasn't what people would call the chosen one. In fact, I was rejected from almost every job I applied to, including KFC. Yes, even KFC didn't want me. Out of 24 candidates, 23 were accepted, and the one who was left out was Jack Ma. Can you imagine being rejected from selling fried chicken? I sometimes joke that I must have been so bad at it that even Colonel Sanders didn't want me in his team. But you know what? Those failures were lessons. They didn't stop me from dreaming. In fact, every rejection, every time someone told me I wasn't good enough, my dream got stronger. I began to realize something very important. Dreams don't come true overnight. Dreams come true when you persist, when you keep going despite the failures. And that's the first thing I want to tell you today. If you have a dream, protect it. Let's pause here for a moment and think. Why are dreams important? Why should we believe in them? Dreams give us a sense of direction. They help us focus. Imagine life without dreams. It's like being a ship without a destination. You might sail smoothly for a while, but without a clear direction, you're just drifting. Dreams help us grow. They challenge us to push our limits, to become better versions of ourselves. If you dream of becoming an astronaut, it means you're willing to learn about science, push your physical and mental boundaries, and overcome the challenges of space. If you dream of becoming a successful entrepreneur, it means you're willing to take risks, learn from failures, and innovate constantly. And most importantly, dreams give us hope. They remind us that no matter how tough life gets, there's something better waiting for us on the other side. When I started Alibaba, I didn't know if it would succeed. I just knew I had a dream to create something that would change the world, something that would connect people and businesses globally. At that time, people laughed at me. They said, "Jack, you're crazy. You can't compete with big companies like Amazon." But I believed in my dream. I believed that if we worked hard, stayed focused, and kept pushing forward, we could build something incredible. But let me be very clear. The journey to making your dreams come true is never easy. I know it sounds cliche, but trust me, it's true. Let me ask you, how many of you have faced failures in life already? Maybe you failed an exam. Maybe you didn't get into your dream college. Maybe you've been rejected from a job. Or maybe someone told you you're not good enough. We all face failures. But here's the thing. Failures are part of the process. You have to fail to succeed. No one has ever achieved anything great without stumbling along the way. Let me give you a fun analogy. Think about your favorite video game. How many times did you die or lose before you mastered that one level? How many times did you have to start over, figure out a different strategy, or change your approach to win? Life is exactly like that. You keep trying, you keep learning, and eventually you level up. But in life, there's no reset button. You have to keep moving forward despite the setbacks. When I was starting Alibaba, we faced so many challenges. We didn't have money, we didn't have connections, and we didn't have a fancy office. But what we had was belief. We believed in our dream. And slowly things started to come together. We built a team that believed in the same vision. We worked long hours. We faced rejection after rejection, but we never gave up. One thing that kept me going was this. It's okay to fail, but it's not okay to give up. Every failure was a lesson, a step closer to success. Now, I want to address something very important for all of you, especially the young people here. Don't let society define your dreams. I grew up in a time when people told me that I wasn't smart enough, that I didn't have the right education, that I didn't fit the mold of a successful person. And honestly, it's easy to get discouraged when the world keeps telling you that you're not good enough. But here's the truth. The world doesn't know your potential. Only you do. If I had listened to the people who doubted me, I would have never started Alibaba. I would have never followed my dream. And today I wouldn't be standing here talking to you. So, I want to challenge each of you. Don't let anyone else tell you what you can or cannot achieve. If your dream is to become a doctor, go for it. If your dream is to start a business, take that first step. If your dream is to become an artist, an engineer, a teacher, or even an astronaut, pursue it with all your heart. Society loves to put people in boxes. They tell you that you need to follow a certain path, that success looks like this or that. But I'm here to tell you that there's no one-size-fits-all version of success. The beauty of dreams is that they are unique to each of us. Your dream doesn't have to look like someone else's dream. You don't have to follow the traditional path. You can carve your own way. And that brings me to my next point. Innovation comes from dreaming. Look around you. Everything that we use today, smartphones, electric cars, space exploration, the internet, all of it started as a dream in someone's mind. Let me tell you a funny story. When I first came across the internet in the mid-90s, I had no idea what it was. In fact, I barely knew how to use a computer. I remember searching for the word beer on the internet because I was curious about what information would come up. And guess what? I didn't find a single result about Chinese beer. At that moment, I had a dream. Why not bring Chinese businesses online? It was a crazy idea at the time. Nobody in China was talking about e-commerce. Nobody thought the internet was going to be a big deal. But I believed in that dream. I believed that one day the internet would connect people and businesses all over the world. And look at where we are today. Alibaba is a global company, and the internet has revolutionized every industry. That's the power of innovation and imagination. It all starts with a dream. So to all the young people here today, don't be afraid to dream big. Don't be afraid to dream of things that seem impossible, because the world needs dreamers like you. The future belongs to those who dare to dream and those who are willing to take risks. The world is changing rapidly, and the opportunities for innovation are endless. The problems we face today, from climate change to poverty to health, will be solved by people like you, the dreamers, the innovators, the risk takers. Now, I know that dreaming big sounds exciting, but let's be real for a moment. Dreams don't work unless you do. One of the biggest myths about success is that it happens overnight. You see someone who's successful and you think, wow, they're lucky. They must have had it easy. But what you don't see is the years of hard work, the sleepless nights, the countless failures that person went through to get where they are. When I was building Alibaba, I faced so many obstacles that I can't even count them. There were times when I thought, maybe this isn't going to work. There were days when we ran out of money, when people told me to give up, but I didn't. And that's because I believed in my dream and I was willing to work hard for it. I often say, today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. Most people give up during the tough days. They quit just before they're about to succeed. So here's my advice, keep going. If you truly believe in your dream, if you're willing to put in the work, the long hours, the late nights, then you will eventually succeed. It may not happen tomorrow or next week or even next year, but it will happen. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. Another important lesson I've learned is that you can't do it alone. Dreams are powerful, but they require a team. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who support your vision, and who challenge you to become better. In the early days of Alibaba, I didn't know much about technology or business, but I had a dream. And I surrounded myself with people who were smarter than me, people who believed in the same vision. You see, no one succeeds alone. We all need mentors, friends, and a support system that encourages us when things get tough. At the same time, stay away from people who don't believe in you. the ones who constantly doubt your abilities. There will always be naysayers, people who tell you that your dream is impossible. Don't listen to them. Focus on the people who lift you up, not the ones who bring you down. One final piece of advice I'd like to share is this. No matter how successful you become, always stay humble and always stay hungry. The moment you think you've made it is the moment you stop growing. I've learned that true success comes from a combination of confidence and humility. Be confident in your abilities, but stay humble enough to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep dreaming. I've met so many successful people in my life, and the ones I admire the most are the ones who remain curious, who are always looking for new ways to improve themselves and the world around them. Never stop learning, never stop challenging yourself, and never stop dreaming. In conclusion, I want to leave you with this. Believe in your dreams. No matter how big or small your dream is, no matter how many obstacles you face, no matter how many people doubt you, believe in your dreams. Because the world is full of possibilities, and your dreams have the power to change the world. I'm standing here today, not because I was the smartest or the most talented, but because I refused to give up on my dream. And if I can do it, so can you. So go out there, chase your dreams, work hard, surround yourself with the right people, and remember that every failure is a stepping stone to success. Thank you, and I can't wait to see what amazing things you all achieve.